From the Wing is back from hiatus. Adam attended the tank last night, the Mo Bamba debut. Very, very exciting times. We're going to talk about that Clippers game, that Pelicans win, the elusive Pelicans win. Only 2 in the last handful. Lots of losses in there, which is kind of what you're looking for at this time of year. And on that note, we're going to talk about the tank. We're going to clarify some things because a lot of people think that tanking means losing every game, and I am here to correct you because you're wrong. It is not about losing every game. You're not that bad. We'll talk about that more. And then we're gonna close this out on a discussion of all these horrendous nicknames. I'm sorry, I can't let it go. This has been sitting in my craw now for over a week. I got to talk about these horrific nicknames and nicknames in general. We need to have a discussion because this is getting out of hand.
Okay,
Steve, how's it going?
Good. Happy to be back. Also back from hiatus. My allergies, so pardon all of this, but we're gonna work through it. The blender, fun times, huh? Mo Bamba debut, best big for the Pelicans. Let's go.
All right. Hey. You know what you're doing there. You knew what you were doing when you texted me that last night. And don't even. I didn't even do the ad read yet. All right. Get out of here with that. All right. So, speaking of our sponsor partner, we are thrilled to be presented by Crescent 9 and Crescent Canna, New Orleans' #1 cannabis company, producers, makers of the wonderfully delightful, highly satisfying Crescent 9 THC Seltzer, which, as you know from our last episode and frequent episodes to come, is available in a ton more 5 milligram flavors. They're hitting shelves, baby. The new colored cans are out there. Sour watermelon at 5 mil. The grape lemonade. We're getting creative out here. We got a lot of stuff going on. You ever wanted to try the raspberry lime, but the raspberry lime's a 50 mil, and that just hits a little too hard for you. You know, it's great. It's a 5 now. It's a 5. You can go hit up basically any flavor under the sun at a 5 milligram level, and take it at your own time. You want 5, you want 10, you want 10, drink 2. Do your thing. And I'm a big fan of having Crescent 9 as I watch the Pelicans. It's become part of the lifeblood here. It's how I'm getting through the toddler nights. This dude's 2. My parents out there know what I'm talking about. Look, sneaky customer base of this product. Young parents, them toddlers, stressful. And so go find your Crescent 9s everywhere that you can find them. All your grocers, your smoke shops, your gas stations, they're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. You should be seeing all the new flavors. If you're not seeing the flavors, tell me. I'll hassle somebody. I'll chase somebody down and find out what happened to your flavors and when they're hitting your shelves. And please, as always, you need to be 21 or older when consuming Crescent 9 and consult a physician or your primary care physician or a mid-level provider. I'm a hospital guy. I know you may go and see a visit. It might be a nurse. Who knows? Consult them if you have a medical condition or any sort of chronic illness that might be affected by the consumption of cannabis. Steve, I was at a Pelicans victory last night, and I can't say that all that often. Pelicans beat the Clippers from stem to stern. Like, really, it kind of was a little bit of a slog to start. James Harden kind of took a really long time to get dialed in. Fantasy playoff pickup for Adam's fantasy team, Bogdan Bogdanovic didn't do diddly squat. And Kawhi looked like Kawhi. So weird thing about this game, and then I'll kick it to you. Watching this game and also like looking at the box score. This is one of the most dynamically don't look at the box score games for me. Like the box score in a lot of categories would lead you to believe that the Clippers win this in a runaway. They had less turnovers. They had the same amount of fouls. And you're like, okay, did Harden or Kawhi have a terrible game? No. Okay, Zubac, he probably had a bad game. Not really. 4 blocks, 5 assists, double-double. You're like, okay, what happened here? And it's really just the Pelicans outshot the Clippers. That's it. They outshot them. But on that night, I did not see the Clippers offense look very good. I saw it look like two guys running their offense. And when they missed, they missed. And when they didn't, they didn't. And then a lot of Amir coffee shots that I didn't expect. And the Pelicans kind of just spread the love, got a nice game from Jordan Hawkins, got a nice game from Jose Alvarado. Trey was probably like, he was a B level for himself. Zion missed some shots early through contact, but then, pulls out the triple-double, second of his career, also second in like 2 weeks, which is notable. And yeah, they beat the Clippers. We get a win. The tank gets a win. How are we feeling about the performance of the Pelicans and Clippers? Are you enjoying what you're seeing? How much value should we put in that Zion triple-double and what he is doing very commonly these days?
Well, if we're going positives, I'd say 47 made field goals, 34 assists. The Pelicans actually played with pace and tempo and movement, and Antonio Daniels was a happy camper. I think the biggest thing was the Pelicans also played defense. So while the Clippers did take a little while to warm up, hey, we're double teaming you, James Harden, right from the jump. And hey, Zubac, we're double teaming you too. And Kawhi, you want some doubles, and we'll figure out the rotations behind it. That's fine. And then we get stops when we run, and it's Bruce Brown doing guard things. And like there were good things for the Pelicans. So I think the biggest thing for Zion was the passing in this one from him. Not that it's new or surprising, but he was really focused in on, okay, you guys are showing help. I'm getting this ball out of here. And then the relentlessness he had as far as driving and just looking to just turn the corner and the anger meter growing as the game went on. Let me see if I can phrase this correctly, because I saw early in the game Zion had a nice little, pull up, but he was too close to the basket for social media to consider it a pull up. Which is apparently if you just like drive one way, then go the other way, and then your footwork, it's like a 1-2, doesn't count for a pull up unless it's like from 15 feet. I've been corrected. Not been corrected. You guys just lighten up. But anyways, him being comfortable getting to that as often as he was, I thought that spoke volumes. Even if it's a 7-footer, hey, I'm going to drive at you. This is a new way I'm going to take up this space. I'm not just going to eat it all the time and now try and run through your face. I'm going to slow play it, change the speeds, get to my spot, rise up over you. I can jump. I get a little touch on it. It looks pretty good. So that was probably the most fun for me. What else? CJ McCollum, just professional basketball player. I hope he's respected. The bench,
Everybody.
The bench. Mo Bamba carrying the load +2 in 15 minutes. I mean, come on.
Look, real quick, I'm going to cut in here because I joked all night online that I was reporting live from the Mo Bamba debut and that it was the Mo Bamba game. And then I said after the game that the Mo Bamba Pelicans are undefeated. I did all those things. Part of that's a jab at one of my buddies who used to be really, really one of our friends in the podcast space was a Mo Bamba fan back in the day. And this is one of those things where hey, he's a Pelican now. It finally happened. And now I'm, I got to keep the grief alive. But there was something specific from Mo that was really helpful last night. And it's that for the bigs that we do have, we have like kind of shorter, more athletically versatile bigs than we do like center, like true height and size. And Bamba took the Zubac assignment and did his damnedest. He was throwing forearms in that dude's back. He was cutting him out, boxing him out really early and shoving his ass in his lap. Like he came in there to do a job, and he did a job. And he got them some rebounds that just like stereotypically the Pelicans don't get. So as far as he's concerned, like, don't get crazy and be like, oh yeah, he's going to shoot 3 threes a game and he's going to be in the rotation next year. Chill. He's going to play out his games limit for us. And we'll probably see him disappear for a second. And then when we get to like the final stretch of the year, when they sit guys down, it'll be like Mo Bamba time for the last like 4 or 5 games, and he'll play every night and you'll have fun with it. And then it won't mean much. But for a guy that's trying to stay alive in the league, he did his job. So salute to him. Zubac is a lot to handle. And as good as his stat line looked, I thought he had to work his ass off for everything he did. I thought they did a good job throwing stuff at him. And quick salute to the other thing you said. I think the notable thing on the doubles, like the defense that they brought, first possession, Trey runs out of the paint and traps Harden at center court, like all the way up at center court. I was like, oh, it's the playoffs. Is it the playoffs? We're trapping high on possession one. And it made Harden play a little different. It made him like shoot when he had daylight rather than like find great plays all the time. And they had some loosey-goosey stuff. But anyway, enjoyable experience. Wins are still fun. Who knew?
How was the in arena experience?
Oh, look, so there's some like for me, and then maybe this is like the weird phase I'm in, being like a mid-30s father. I love not having lines for stuff. I love being able to get wherever I want, having a little leg room. You know, I'm not mad at it. You know, like there's nothing distracting me. I don't have to deal with like, you know, it's basically like it's kind of like half full, you know, say that low, only half full, like maybe half full, might be like a third full. But I had a blast. Like it's fun. Like Zion is entertaining. You talked about him pushing the pace and like you could tell he was getting more mad as the game went on. You could see it visibly. And part of it is like he lives in this space because his arms get hacked on every drive and he's not going to get those calls and he knows it. And so when he doesn't get like 3 of them in a row, he gets really angry. And so like that was building up. Whistles were fairly quiet. And then like Willie had successful challenges. I had my eyes on both of those plays and they were just horrendous calls. Like one of them all just thrown straight out of bounds. And Bruce is standing in front of the ref on the line, never touches the ball. And the ref just goes, yeah, Bruce touched it. Like what? How? The ball didn't move. Why? What made you think this? And yeah, so weird night from the refs. But yeah, it's fun. Zion turned the corner on everybody and was passing out of it. And especially at the end of the game, like you could just tell even when it got a little close, we got within like 2 possessions. And then Zion just like turned the corner on Amir Coffey, turned the corner on Derek Jones. And you're like, oh, okay. So he's just decided we're not going to lose. Carlo was complimentary in his role. Like he made the rotation player. I'm so excited about Carlo. I'm so happy for him. He's landing firmly in the rotation. That dude is a shooting, creating big. He is filling the role that Larry Nance had, and that is very intriguing for a Zion team. Missy was, you know, kind of up and down. He struggles when he's got those dudes with heft. But overall, just enjoyable experience. A lot of professional basketball was had. A lot of decent plays were made. And it's fun to watch Zion. And it's fun to watch a win. And it's fun for me personally to watch James Harden lose. I like it when James Harden loses, personally. I've always liked that. So I enjoyed James Harden losing. So it was a blast. Wow. Easy to get down there. No lines. It's a dub. Zion's there. Kelly Olynyk dressed like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo on the sideline, just hanging out, like the things you see, you know? Great time. A-level experience.
It's good to hear. I also think Zion was just really mad at Chris Dunn. The more I think about it, he was done with Chris Dunn as a concept and wanted to end him. And then Kawhi was like, you know what? I'll guard you. And Zion was like, you sure? Kawhi's like, I have no choice. We're losing.
So beyond so we get the win. You know, I think we're at what, 19 wins now. And that is not exactly, or we're at 18 wins, excuse me. It's not you don't want the win total to be going up this time of year. However, I want to reset a little bit on expectations for the tank. I'm going to keep dialing this in. This is not the most interesting topic in the world. This is part, like, I want to ridicule some people online. And the other part is like, I'm just a very logical person and what we're doing is illogical and I hate illogical things. The Pelicans do not need to not ever win a game again. to be a successful tank the rest of the year. That is not the chief objective. The chief objective is not that we will only have 18 wins for the rest of time. We're playing an instrument here. You know, this is a string section. It's not, you're not just banging a gong. You have a mix of, hey, we're gonna decelerate some guys. We're not gonna have them play every single night 30 minutes. Like, we're not gonna do that to guys. We're gonna have guys sit back to backs. If you feel anything that is uncomfortable, we're gonna sit you down. You're doing those things. You're having guys not play back to backs. All those things are true. You're also in the middle of games trying out some lineups that you kind of know don't work. Like, you're testing things out that you know that you probably shouldn't put on the floor against the Clippers. There was a Mo Bamba, Carlo Makovich, Jose lineup in the third quarter that was like visibly not going to work. And very quickly it got swapped out, and actual basketball players were in more positions. And I say actual basketball players, I should be kinder than that. People that have been playing for the Pelicans for more than a few weeks on court together shortly thereafter. So what am I saying? We have, I believe, 16 games left. And in these 16 games, you do not need to be 0-16. You don't. And like, honestly, the 16 games that are left, I would just chop off like the last 5 or 6. Tell yourself you've got really 10 or 11 games left. And all you are concerned with across those 10 or 11 games is not going above 21 wins. So if you grab 3 of these, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Why 21?
Because of where the standings sit. And it may not even be 21. 21 currently is like the bar of staying in the preferred lottery odds. 21, if you stay 21 or lower, you are very likely to be at least 4th worst. Now, is 4th worst slightly less advantageous than being bottom 3? Sure. It is still 30+% chance to jump up into the top 3 and be selecting one of the primo guys you want in the draft. I am unconcerned. As long as they land in the bottom 5 records, the tank, as far as the Pelicans go, was successful. After 5, slight odds fall off, where it's a little harder to jump. That 6 spot's not so great in terms of jumping up into the top 3. But like dropping from like 14% chance for the number 1 overall pick to like 11.8, I think it might be. I'm pulling that number kind of out of my butt, but pretty sure it's like 11.8. That's not a wild difference. So look at those 3 teams. Utah is selling out to lose. Absolutely selling out to lose. Washington is selling out to lose and is bad. So those 2 are the bottom 2. You're not coming near them. So then there's Charlotte, who like has some talented offensive players on their roster, and they chuck a lot of shots. They're going to mess around and win some games. They are. LaMelo is going to shoot 20 times a game, and there are going to be nights where like 13 or 14 of them go in. So they're still going to go up a little bit. Them and us are the ones like messing around with like, okay, who's going to be the 3rd worst? And it could be us, could be them. I think it's going to be more like a coin flip. However, Nets, Raptors, Spurs, get out of here with telling me like they're going to fall, they're going to tank their way down in the bottom 4 No, they're not. They're already at 22 wins or more. I think the Spurs have 24. Like, you can't take the wins off. You can't. So just think 21, 22, they can win 3 or 4 more of these, and it's fine. So when Zion decides he wants to kill the Clippers and they're playing good basketball, let them. That's it. That's what happened last night. They were playing good basketball against a team that we kind of play good basketball against often. Clippers don't love us. We've been like a bad matchup for them for a really long time in like every iteration of this Zion team. And they clearly had an ability to win the game, and Zion very much wanted to, so just let them. And they did.
So you have no fear of these Sixers, Raptors, Nets.
Nope. Not even a little.
Not even a little bit.
You want me to be afraid of the Cam Thomas Nets not accidentally winning more games? They're just going to. Cam Thomas is going to drop at least 3 30-point games before the end of the season.
Okay.
At least.
The Sixers, though. I mean, Quentin Grimes.
Quentin Grimes dropping 40 every other night right now. The big thing is these guys already have too many wins. They just can't backtrack far enough to be that concerned with it because the Pelicans aren't going to go. They're not going to go on a 10-game win streak. It's not going to happen. So we just need to be a little realistic. Like the Sixers at 22, Raptors at 22, Nets at 22. We are 4 games below that whole segment. Do you think we're going on a 4-game win streak? Do you think having Zion play like once or twice every 4 games is going to lead to a 4-game win streak? I don't. So I just want to see, like, there are games we play the 76ers. We have a game left against the Nets. Those will matter.
And the Hornets.
Those will all matter. Those will be disgusting games. Absolutely disgusting games. But like realistically, I'm budgeting in like 3 or 4 more wins that I'm just not going to be mad about. If it's like a night they just played really well and won, just let them. Sure. They're going to end up a bottom 5, hopefully bottom 4 record. And there's an outside shot. They're the 3rd worst record and they get top odds. And that's great. But the odds are not that different 1 through 5. So just chill and just like accept that if this works out for us, you're adding a Cooper Flag or a Dylan Harper, an Ace Bailey or a VJ Edgecombe to an already like well set team when you have Herb and Murray and everybody back next year. Like we're in an advantageous position. Steve said it 100 times. We're not supposed to be here. So if we get a high-end lotto pick to throw on top of this, it's great. So like, let's just be happy. Let's just take the happiness, take the smiles when we get them. Don't freak out every time they win a game and they beat James Harden. Just be happy that James Harden's miserable yesterday. It's probably because like he's in New Orleans and he probably did some things. And that's probably why he was like struggling to get started. You know,
like get great rest. What do you mean?
Very, very good rest and maybe some stretches, maybe got limber in his hotel room, you know, had a nice dinner that was like salmon and broccoli. I'm sure that's what it was. So, yeah, let's just dial it down when we get a win. Like, let's just enjoy the win. We gotta have some fodder, you know, we gotta have some smile fodder. And we got some last night and it looked fun. Like Jordan Hawkins, like had a little spurt in his first 2 stints where he's blocking shots. He's running around. He actually made 3-pointers and he was making them from everywhere. And it was pacing us away from them. We were up by like 20 at a couple of different points of the game. They come back as you would expect Kawhi and James Harden to do. And then you pulled away again because Zion was mad. That's fun. That's great. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I caught a t-shirt from a t-shirt cannon. Like,
oh, nice.
Let yourself enjoy yourself.
So what you're saying is the Pelicans fan base has to be like the paragon of positivity.
You're transitioning us into the next topic here. That's what you're doing. You're already getting these highfalutin words. We're already doing it. So on that note,
the palatable Pelican fan base.
Oh my God. All right. So let's talk about this. Do you disagree? Like fundamentally, like, do you think that we should be upset? I know how you feel. You just want to see good basketball. And if they win, they win. You don't give a damn about what the final record is and what the tank does, right? Like you want good basketball to happen. Am I right?
I think it's basically one of these scenarios where you find out you had a chance to go to the dance with someone after the dance. Like you already have a date now, and I could have asked you. I wasn't supposed to ask you. I had a date, but now I know that I could have asked you, and now that's playing in my mind. I think that's getting to 3 is for Pelicans fans. Best analogy I can give you.
You really got to be careful with that one too, because you can't let girl number 1 know that you were actually in the tank for girl number 2. You got to just take that. You got to bottle that up. You got to push it down real deep and just eat it. Because God forbid, if you try to do any shenanigans,
you're going over 2.
If you go any shenanigans and try and shift back to girl number 2, because now all of a sudden this magical bout of confidence has landed on you now that you know the answer. Because that's not how life works.
Yeah, you
If you try and double back, you're going alone, brother. You are going alone,
and you're getting two groups of friends mad at you. It's not a good idea.
We've all been there. We have all been there. I have actually been there. That was high school, but yeah, I've been there. I have actually been there. All right, let's talk about this paradox of positivity and the palatable Pelicans and all this. You maniac. What is this? What are we doing? What is this thing with these horrendous NBA nicknames? Like, we're just accepting them now. What happened to my NBA fandom and my culture that when Kevin Durant denied the name Slim Reaper and tried to call himself the Servant, everyone unanimous, like we united. I just rewatched all of Lord of the Rings. We united like the kingdoms of men and said, no, we are not calling you the Servant. Quit being a loser. You don't pick your own nickname. You're the Slim Reaper. Accept it. You want to be Durantula? We'll do that too. Don't you dare try and tell me that you're the Servant. Well, and now it's the proliferation of this nonsense. Bam Adebayo, the onomatopoeia, the alliteration, the anomaly. Jason Tatum, that one's like, whatever. The abnormality, Shaedon Sharpe, this is one of the ones that's like really irking me because he's not even good yet. Like, we don't even know if he's good. So, like, just.
But the athleticism is abnormal, you know?
Yeah, sure. He jumps real high. Cool. Get in the dunk contest and do something with it. I love Evan Mobley. The predicament? The predicament.
Is it a huge one?
It is the worst. You know what the predicament is? Figuring out what position he played until this year. That was the predicament. But
now he can shoot. Now he can drive. Now you don't know how he's going to punish you. The defense. He's a predicament, you know?
Where did this is as bad? This strikes me as like the creativity we have as a country is gone. We don't know how to do anything other than reruns. And so, like, guys are just trying to like get their brand done. They're like, yeah, he's the abnormality. All right, well, I'm going to be the look here. I'll just grab another one. I'll be the oxymoron. I'll be the singularity. Like,
I think it's just kids bored on TikTok.
It's brutal.
Come on, the paradox though.
Brutal.
You're rocking with the paradox, Cade Cunningham.
Absolutely. The paradox was I didn't know if Cade Cunningham was good until this year. That was the paradox. Like, not good, great. I knew he was like pretty good, but there all the stuff in there wasn't super valuable. Teammates were bad. Don't get me started on Monty Williams. I will do an hour on how bad Monty Williams was as a Detroit Pistons coach, and then I'll turn it into Tom Gore's. How dare you just bid that guy into taking a job he clearly didn't want? I could do that one all day. I have never seen a coach more want to be fired than Monty Williams in Detroit. Just saying. Every decision made no sense. Yeah, I'm the weird guy that's a New Orleans Pelicans fan and nightly was obsessed with how dare you start Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren together with Cade Cunningham. Where is the shooting? Why is Isaiah Stewart a 4? Why are you starting him every single night? How is Killian Hayes the backcourt mate? What are we doing? It was a mess. Anyway, I'm sorry. I did it.
No, you're right. You don't like the singularity, Cam Thomas?
No, I don't. I hate all of them. I think they are just it's all just like they're all just copying off each other. Everybody's the ITY. The predicament is so bad. Like, you guys got to find some creative people and like hire them and like have them decide what you're going to be. But the biggest thing, we just need to stop giving ourselves nicknames. You don't get to decide. Authenticity is the key to a nickname. And none of y'all got it. None of y'all got it. These are horrendous.
What about the multiplier for Nikola Jokic?
Jokic can do no wrong. He can be whatever the hell he wants. You can call him the horseman.
That's the one you agree with?
Well, because he operates, he's the best basketball player in the world, and he has been for like 5 consecutive years. He can do whatever he wants. I've never seen a guy play basketball like that. So, like, whatever. They're like, I can live with it. Like, LeBron gets to decide if he wants to change a nickname or something. He gets to decide. If Luka wants to change what he's called, whatever, I can kind of get a Joker. Yeah, because I've seen those dudes do things that I've never seen basketball players do. These fledgling kids that are like just breaking into being good do not get to name themselves. This is not a branding apparatus only. You play basketball first, you brand second. Your brand only matters if you're good. So, like, let's go be good and then capitalize on the branding. All right. I hate this business shift where, like, I got to be a brand before I even know how to play 26 minutes. No, stop doing that. And I know I'm shouting at clouds. I'm shouting at clouds. The NIL's making this work.
You're just shouting at the kids. You don't agree that Brandon Ingram is the riddle?
He's not. That's never been his name. That's not his name. That's never been his name. Nobody's ever calling him that. That somebody made that up. That's one of those stupid basketball reference shit, like put this thing under his name. Some of those things get real out of hand. Basketball reference needs to be reined in. Like they just throw some stuff. Like I could go write like any nickname in there. Call somebody like the Spanish Moss, and they'd be like, "Whoa, this guy's nickname's the Spanish Moss." That's wild. Like, no, it's not. Somebody made this up. This is not a thing. But yeah, the overall point, like, don't give yourself nicknames. Like, remember Kevin Durant not wanting to be the Slim Reaper. Just harken back to the servant and just remind yourself how lame that sounded, how lame that felt. And that is the context that I apply to all of these stupid names I'm reading. They're all dumb. None of them is relatable. None of them is authentic. You're just trying to sound cool, and you probably think aliens are on the planet as we speak and the earth is flat. That's the vibe I'm picking up. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of guys that have like mildly watched some science fiction and thought a word was cool. I would love to know. I would love to go ask Cam Thomas. This is great. Somebody in Brooklyn should do this. Somebody should ask Cam Thomas to explain a singularity. That's television. Let him earn the nickname.
You don't want that. Well, it's the shooting.
Do.
It's the shooting.
No.
Why am I on this? Why am I on this side of this?
Because I put you here. Because I had to get this out of my system. So, like, let's reverse roll. Do you think any of these are any good?
I mean, the anomaly, the paradox, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the conundrum. Because they haven't figured them out yet.
So they're all the same thing, is what you're telling me. You just repeated synonyms. Now somebody should be the synonym. Why isn't somebody the synonym?
Who would be the synonym?
All right, here we go. There it is. Now we're cooking. Who would be the synonym? Would that be
CJ McCollum?
Nikhil's not good enough to be the synonym to his cousin. That'd be cool though. If Nikhil was like a certifiable starter scoring like, 18 to 20 points a night every single night, it'd be cool to call him the synonym in reference to
I got it. All right. So if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the conundrum, then Nickeil Alexander-Walker is the quandary.
See, like, now that's good. If they joint come out with, I can go with this. That's creative. There's a thing there. Because they're inverse. They're like kind of inverse. There's synonyms in their hyphenate last name. Like, yeah. See, I can get on board because like at least there's some thought in that. But like, let's just like we should be doing in all aspects of life. Let's reach for authenticity. Let's try to feel the vibration that's out there in the world and just capture that rather than trying to manifest something that doesn't exist. If you're pulling against the world, things don't tend to go well for you. And I would put forth that all these guys with these horrific nicknames, they're playing tug of war against the world here. These are not These are not authentic. This is not who you are. You can't relate to these words. These are vacant words. These are words that are just like anomalous. Tip of the hat to the anomaly. These are anomalous words. They don't have relatability. They are not authentic to you. They don't describe you in any way. This isn't even good branding. It's garbage branding. You're all becoming the same. So there's 30 of you that are doing the exact same thing. If there's like 5 marketing guys behind this, fire them all. If there's like 5 dudes that are like making you all think you need these nicknames, just fire them all. Find your best friend from high school. Let that guy decide. That's what I have to say on that. I'm out. I'm good on the nickname thing. I can let it go now. Sorry about that.
You feel better?
Yeah, a little bit. Kind of just like boiled up in me a little bit. It's just a tough scene out there. Just want people to make smarter decisions. I want the kids to be smarter. They're our future. We got to let them lead the way. Just not yet, because these nicknames are bad.
What a rant.
Yeah, I even got into Whitney Houston. How about that?
Sure did.
So real quick, Cavaliers and Thunder. There's like if we had to just like a quick hypothesis before we're out of here, like the Cavaliers have a date with the Celtics that looks pretty scary. So it's hard to say like you should book the Cavaliers all the way to the finals. The Thunder just absorbed a J-Dub injury, but like they've absorbed a lot of injuries and still beaten everybody. Do you see like a hardcore challenger for the Thunder? You think the Nuggets get there and scare them? Do you think the Luka LeBron Lakers are interesting enough for a conference semi? Or is like the heavy favorite right now Cavaliers Thunder, like most of the mainstream media is telling us?
I think as of now, I think I would not be surprised the Celtics are there. But the Thunder, it's all going to be about their path. Like if the 4-5 is Memphis, Houston, I think that could be an ugly series, but OKC may be able to survive that. Who is on the other side in the conference finals is what worries me. Like if they get a tricky path where they got to deal with the Wolves in the first round and then the gosh darn Lakers or someone in the second round, like the cumulative thing could add up to them. But right now, I would probably I give them their flowers right now.
All right. I feel like the one thing, like the Celtics are the ones that are like a clear, like, do not forget that they're here. Like, let's not just erase that just because the Cavaliers are winning a ton of games. Though, shout out to Kenny Atkinson. Like the Cavalier stuff has worked. However, Darius Garland kind of having a rough stretch right now. It doesn't look as good as it did to start the year, but the conglomerate of the Cavaliers is better because like Hunter has fit perfectly well. They have just a well-rounded team. They just have everything. So it's okay that Darius Garland's been rough for a little bit. They can absorb it. Now, are we going to get into the same Cavaliers conversation where they get into the playoffs and now all of a sudden it's Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland and the playoffs are different and you're being guarded with a strategy that arcs over 6 games rather than 1 game and then you don't see me again for 2 months? Very intrigued to see if Darius Garland can beat the allegations in the playoffs, because there are still some big question marks there. Jared Allen famously said the lights were brighter than we thought. That remains to be seen for the Cavs. Interesting stuff. A lot of small market stuff at the top of the league, and the Pelicans, starting to do some draft diving, starting to evaluate some guys. We might have to talk about them pretty soon. The board isn't coming. So
yay!
Get excited. I know Steve loves college ball. Don't let him hide it from you. On that note, it's been a pleasure. Please seek help if you feel the need to call yourself an anomaly or an abnormality or a predicament or any of those things. If you're feeling compelled to do those things, please talk to a doctor. And have a great rest of the week. And we will be with you again next time and highly satisfy you with Crescent 9 once more.